In this laser training video, we're going to take a look at an important part of racing lasers, and that's the start line. Let's see if we can pick up a few tips. To help me with the guidance in this video, I've borrowed some training footage from 2012 laser training at Chew, and we've got two starts, race 1 and race 2.
1 minute to go.
In race 1, the wind was light, between 3 and 6 mile an hour. The starboard end of the line was marginally favoured, but there was noticeably more pressure on the middle and right hand side of the beat than there was on the left hand side. This favoured an approach to the line on starboard tack to try to win the committee boat end of the line, which would enable a quick tack off onto port to get clear air and go in the direction towards the right hand side of the course.
30 seconds!
In light airs, it's easy to make the mistake of getting too far from the line during the pre-start and ending up not being able to get to the line on time. This is particularly the case in light airs because it's so difficult to reacquire speed. So it's important that we don't drift too far away from the start line in the pre-start.
20! In
all wind conditions, it's extremely important to have a good understanding of where the line is, to have got a transit.
10!
The 4.7s in this clip have done an excellent job of finding out where the start line is and are now well placed to make a good start. One of the most difficult starting skills to master, particularly in the laser, is the timing of the trigger pull. And this is all about ensuring that you hit the line at maximum speed as the gun goes. Jose has done a really good job of his trigger pull and the timing of it. Unfortunately, he's a little off the start line. And you can see from this clip some other boats doing their best to try and get their trigger pull just right. It's really important to get the boat set up ready for the first beat just before the start. Here 175671 has made a really solid start, but unfortunately he's just lost a little concentration in the pre-start and hasn't got his boat set up for maximum power as he crosses the line.
That was the start of the first race. And it looks like... I did get the start, yeah. I was just going to catch Steve just racing away up there. So Steve hung back a bit and took the committee boat end.
My start has allowed me to tack off onto port and head out in the direction I wanted to go, which is off to the right hand side where there's more pressure, in clear air and with freedom to tack. In race 2, the wind did decrease a little from the first race, although the starboard end of the line was still favoured and there was marginally still more pressure on the right side of the course. So once again this favoured a starboard end of the line positioning and if possible a quick tack off onto port. Here Jose with the Healy Hansen jacket on has again arrived at a good time, nice and early on the start. If he's able with his boat handling to retain that position right on the committee boat end of the line, he's going to have the best start of the fleet. But with a minute to go, it's a real challenge for him to try and stay in that position and not drop down.
"30 seconds.
With 30 seconds to go, it's become evident that Jose in 115774 has drifted down the line a little bit, and this has opened up a nice big gap for the 4.7s to come into. Jess Harding in 160649 looks to take advantage of Jose drifting down the line a little by approaching and stealing that prime spot. A standard approach for winning the committee boat end of the line is to ensure that you come in on the starboard lay line on starboard tack for the committee boat end. This means if you're above the starboard tack lay line, you're vulnerable to being pushed the wrong side of the committee boat by the person who's on the lay line.
10.
People across the line already.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
As the gun goes, it's interesting to observe the sailing angles of the boats in the image. Jose in 115774 is, it would appear, pointing distinctly further off the wind than Jess Harding in 160669 or myself in 195112. 165482, despite being above the ley line, did the right thing, slowed down and was able to cross the line right on the tail of 195112. A quick note here is that unfortunately he's missing his clue strap, and this combined with not quite enough depth in the foot of his sail is going to affect his boat speed in these light breezes.
Steve done exactly the same thing as he did in the first race.
Okay, so I've covered some fairly advanced elements of starting there. I guess the key messages are to have a plan for the first beat, which enables you to come up with a plan for the start line, and then try to start roughly in the area you want to start and make sure you hit the line, the transit line, at full speed when the gun goes.